guys, my name is Taquisha. This is Our Freedom Song, and I am so happy that you are here. I am actually on my way into the greenhouse. I grabbed some things from indoors. I was doing some cold stratification on some lavender, just seeing if I can figure this thing out with this lavender, how to get it to sprout. I have a pocket full of seeds. I got my coffee, and I'm just gonna go into the greenhouse and show you everything that's going on in there. It's that time of year where being as tidy as you can is important because the greenhouse is full and all of the spaces are being taken up with very good things. So, aka everything is everywhere. So we have to try to just go with it, take a deep breath, say all of this is what the greenhouse is for. So this section has frequent lately in our videos, just with all of our winter sowing. Everything is looking really well. This is our cilantro. I'm so happy about that, y'all. Look at those beautiful sprouts in that bag. Everything in this section has sprouted. I'm very excited about our little rosemary sprouts. I want to have so much rosemary in the garden this year, and so I see 4 of them in there, and so that's wonderful. Still nothing in that lavender bag. So I am doing the winter sowing method using these baggies. I also put lavender in the refrigerator to do some cold stratification. I know that's such a big word for those of us who never heard it before. And so all that means is that there's a period of cold moistness that the seeds need in order to germinate. So I just removed this from the refrigerator. It's just some damp soil in there with the seeds. And so I am now bringing this out to the greenhouse to, I guess, warm up, and we'll see if we can't get some sprouts growing in there. So we'll keep an eye on that together. Look at this morning glory. Isn't that so beautiful? Man, those leaves are gorgeous. Another plant that's growing really good over here is this balsam. Look at all those beautiful sprouts. We have some mallow. We have a bag full of California poppies. Some of that beautiful borage. Oh my goodness, last year it was one of my favorite things. I just loved how gorgeous this plant was, and the pollinators absolutely loved it. So this is called Chinese aster. It's a really beautiful flower, and so I'm really excited about this one. Here are the sweet William flowers. Well, you know they're not flowers yet, but they're flowers. We have some dahlia seeds that sprouted, which is so exciting, y'all. Oh my goodness. Dahlias are one of the most beautiful flowers, in my opinion. And then in this bag right here, all of those are zinnias, y'all. They are zinnias, and I'm excited about these. Look how many zinnias in this bag. These are both zinnias, I believe. And this is a zinnia bag as well. Lots of zinnias. I've sprouted. Ah, yes. This would be my first time growing chives. Actually be my first time growing the majority of these things. So, and definitely this is my first time doing the winter sowing method, and I really am loving it. It's pretty hands off, and so I can really appreciate that. Take a look at our soil blocks. So here they are, still holding up really well. I have watered these once, and just with the bottom water, I just put a really thin layer of water down there, and I have also misted these a couple times. This is alyssum, our sweet alyssum. You can see the roots down there. So those popped up, and so that's exciting. I need to plant those out soon. And this is the Romanesco. Why I planted more Romanesco, y'all, I have no idea. I have no idea because I have so much Romanesco right now. It's insane. This is our African Bride, and we have not had any sprouts on this one yet. So we're still waiting. We're still waiting for you to show up. We have some amaranth. It is the red. I think it's the Love Lies Bleeding or something like that. And so, but this is, wait, do I see a sprout in this container back here? Okay. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy about that. I believe this is rosemary because I had these containers and I really wanted to see how they worked. And so I planted all 3 of them with rosemary in it because I would love to have some beautiful bushes of rosemary in our perennial space. Okay, so down here, all of this is calendula. And I'm so happy to see it sprouting up because I want to grow a ton of calendula. And so this is exciting. It's so cool. Like those calendula seeds are so cool. They kind of look like bugs, but look at that. That's the seed and that's the little sprout just coming out of it. It's just so cool. I am going to be potting up all of these brassicas very soon because they're ready. These sweet peas, I've never planted these. These are the sweet pea flowers. And that just looks like a little mini asparagus, doesn't it? It's so cute. So I have definitely been keeping myself busy, especially with sowing flower seeds right now, because this spring I just really have this strong desire to plant cut flowers. I thought it would be such an amazing experience to see it, first of all, and then for our girls to do some bouquets and like a really great hands-on experience with how to take care of them. And so I'm like, you know what? We have the space. Let me figure out how we can do this thing. And so just in the last few days, I've planted probably 1,000 flowers. Like it's just in 3 trays. I've planted 600. And so that, along with all of the winter sowing flowers that we have, as well as some soil blocking flowers that I also planted, as well as some of the flowers I planted in the biodegradable cups. I've also planted flowers in those, and all of those calendula that you've just seen. And so definitely 1,000 flowers for sure. So if they all germinate, that would be so incredible. And I actually want to do about at least 3 more trays of zinnias. I do have some zinnia seeds on the way that are all different varieties that I've never seen and never planted from Botanical Interest. And I'm just waiting on those seeds so that I can get them in some soil blocks, y'all, because this spring is going to be absolutely gorgeous in the garden. We are finally about 8 weeks from our last frost date, which means tomatoes, y'all. It is time to sow tomato seeds. And so what I'm going to do, that I saw my friend Jess do from an old video of hers, was densely sow tomato seeds in a container, and as they grow, then I'm going to separate them. I think that that is such a great idea. It really saves on the time on the front end to just go ahead and sow them, get them growing, and then separate and put them all in individual trays. And so I'm going to be sowing a ton of tomatoes, which leads me into showing you a new space that I put up a trellis with my son. We came out, put in some T-posts, and then used the welded wire. So quick to do and to put up. It ended up being the inexpensive route that I decided to take. Thomas and I thought about if we were going to like build something and like have a nice beautiful wood piece, but I just really wanted to go ahead and get something up so that I don't have to think about that anymore. I know that once these tomatoes are ready to go out, they have their spot. And so we put up this trellis and I love it. I love it there. And I'm combining those two beds. And so each of those beds are 9 feet long. One might be like 10 feet long. So let's just imagine that it's about 20 feet. You know, it's between 18 and 20 feet long because I added the middle section that was like a foot walkway. So the space is about 20 feet. To use that amount of fence costs about $8. And that we got 100-foot roll, you know, are able to cut it. And I have some other projects that I can use that fencing for as well. It was a lot less expensive than buying the cattle panels because the cattle panels are about $40 right now. And so $40 for 16 by 4 feet. And that fencing was $100 for 100 feet. You get what I'm saying? So a little bit more than $1 per foot. So it was definitely less expensive to go that route than to get the cattle panel. And I know that this welded wire actually works really great for tomatoes because I used it last year for tomatoes. And so I'm really, really excited about the potential of that space. I think it's just gonna give the entrance of the garden like such a wonderful feel to just come in and have that big cattle panel all, you know, stuffed up with tomatoes. I think that that's going to be really fun. So I'm going to be planting just over 20 varieties. I think it is probably about between 22 and 25 varieties of tomatoes. And I just wanted to give you a glance at some of my favorite ones, the ones I'm most excited about. I also have a few gardening friends who are also growing different varieties than me. And they've said that I am able to get a couple of the varieties that they are planting. And so how fun is that? I just think that there's just going to be so much excitement in the garden this spring, just experiencing all the different varieties and just really honing down on what we really love. And last year, the favorite and the most prolific here in our garden was our Cherokee Purple. That was the first time I've ever grown it or tasted it, and I absolutely love the Cherokee Purple. It has such a wonderful smoky flavor, and I saved a ton of seeds, and I cannot wait to grow an abundance of those Cherokee Purples this spring as well. Indigo Rose is so beautiful in the picture. I'm really excited about planting that. Last year, this chocolate cherry was my toppity top favorite cherry tomato. My favorite cherry tomato. Like, I've never tasted anything that tasted like this. It was like all, and I don't know if this is the name that kind of like tripped me out a little bit, like played with my mind, because I felt like it was a fruit. Now, we all know that tomatoes are technically fruits, but when I ate this, I felt like I was eating a sweet and tart fruit, and I loved it. And so I hope the germination rate on this is incredible because I cannot wait to taste these homegrown chocolate cherries. Last year, I bought one container from the store whenever I was doing the really fun experiment with the upside down tomatoes. And so I got these because they were small and fell in love. And I'm so happy I tried them last year. I'm really excited about these artesian bumblebee tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I think they're going to be, I have high expectation. I have a friend who had the bumblebee, I think it's called the Sunrise, and she said that they were super prolific and so delicious. So many people raved about them. And so I'm excited about these. Queen of the Night, simply look at that picture. Just look at that. Like, yes, we are excited about this. I cannot wait to pop one of these just straight in my mouth because look at this. Like, how exciting is this? So I'm really excited about that. I recently showed you guys this green zebra pole tomato. I think it looks so cool to just look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to see it in real life. This will probably be one of the only bush tomatoes I grow. I really love growing pole tomatoes. But this is a bush. When I read the description, I just knew I wanted to taste this. And some of you commented and said this was your favorite tomato. And so that made me so excited about that. You guys saw that one. And then the last one is this Golden Jubilee. I'm really excited about this as well. It just, the name, sometimes the name just grab you, you know, and you're like, ooh, I need to taste that. Of zinnias over here, and then I have some marigolds over here, and then these blocks over here I just poured out the water. I've been soaking these sweet pea seeds, and so I'm going to sow them for this method as well. I did do the winter sowing for the sweet peas, but of course I want to see how it's going to be with soil blocking these seeds. Really want to make sure that they're in their own section so I don't get them confused. And I'm just going to top these all off with some vermiculite. And then we'll see how it goes together. So I have something that is so exciting to show you guys. All of you who have been on this carrot journey with me, y'all, I have to show you this. I'm so excited about it. Yes, last night I came out, well, it's evening, and harvested our first batch of carrots, y'all. Oh my goodness. Am just so happy, y'all, and these carrots were so delicious and so good, crunchy, sweet. I mean, definitely worth the wait for sure, y'all, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and do some bulk potting up of these tomatoes. I'm just going to get me some potting soil mixed up and just put them in containers and start the process. So I just discovered a really good way to sift the peat to put it in a potting mix. The peat has like big chunks in it if you've ever worked with it, like big chunky sticks and all kinds of sorts of things in here. And so this bowl came from one of those salad spinners. The outside got broken, and so it was thrown away, and we were left with this bowl, and which I have no real use for. I mean, it's useful, but you know, and so I brought it out here to the garden, and I just figured I can use this to sift peat moss, and it works so good. It works like a charm. Watch this. It's because peat is so dry that it just feathers right through like dust, and it leaves the rest of the chunky pieces in the bowl. This potting mix ended up being a little more wet than I wanted it to, so I'm adding some peat moss to it. Y'all, look what's left. All the chunky bits. I'm so excited about this. That is so great. That is really great. So now I know this is my peat moss bowl. This bowl right here. And that makes me happy. So I just potted up 10 of these Epic Gardener seed starting trays, which are so incredible and so durable. I'm absolutely loving these trays. But I just potted up 10 of these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to densely sow each square. And so I'm probably going to split this in half. Since I know 20 varieties for sure that I want to sow, I'll be able to do 3 cells of each variety, but I'm going to put multiple seeds of each variety in those 3 cells. And so even if I did 5 seeds in here, that would be 5, 10, 15 of, say, the bumblebee blend. And so I will have plenty of tomatoes. If they all germinate, I'll have plenty to share and plenty to grow. And so I'm really excited about that. So I'm gonna go ahead, and the other great thing is that I'll just need 1 tag for now to go into this section and 1 to this section, so that all of my seeds in this section will be whatever that tag is. So that's going to save me some time right now, because the most important thing is to get these seeds sown. And because these containers have these bottom holes right here and then these side pockets, I'm really thinking it's going to produce some really good root growth, as well as going to be easy for me to get this cell out. I'm just going to have to just push up on that, and the whole thing's going to come out. And so I am really hopeful with using these cell trays. My goodness, a productive day in the garden is so refreshing. I am so happy about where we are right now. I feel like I'm definitely being so intentional about being on top of things. And so I'm hoping for the best. And I think that it's definitely going to pay off. It's a lot. We're thinking about all the seeds and what all, in an exciting type of way, though. I'm definitely not feeling overwhelmed in a burden way. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I want to plant all the things and I want everything to live. I want everything to do well. And I want the spring garden to be absolutely breathtaking when we go out there. And so that is my hope and that is my goal. It's definitely worth all of the prep work. That is all I have today. That's all I have to share with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you are enjoying the journey as we are journeying along on this thing that we call our freedom song. I would absolutely love to hear from you guys down in those comments, and I will talk to you guys next time.